On Billboard tonight, actor Bruce Willis, results of an international literary prize, and music from singer-songwriter Rich Stephenson. Welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for a roundup of theatre, music, art and literature across the region. And a special welcome and seasonal greetings to Dr. Shana Stryer, Barbara Sherwin, Tara Roda and all our viewers in New York City, who will be enjoying a host of seasonal events including an open-air ice rink and Winter Village in Bryant Park. Nearer to home, the Panto season gets underway with a deluge of dames, a feast of fairy godmothers. And here's our favourite Cinderella and busy bee at the business hive, Jo Taylor, with some popular choices.
As the Panto season gets underway, here's a selection of seasonal fare from around the region. Aladdin is proving a popular choice with audiences south of the river. Brendan Sheerin and Michael Courtney star in this ingenious tale at the Grimsby Auditorium until Saturday the 28th of December. And down the road in Cleethorpes, Robin Hood and the Babes in the Woods entertain us at the Parkway Cinema until the 1st of January. The Baths Hall in Scunthorpe are also staging Aladdin with the ever-popular dame Annie Fanny until the 31st of December. The final Aladdin is a Louth Playgoers production directed by Michelle Brown at the Riverhead Theatre from the 10th of January. Baker Musaka leads a talented young cast in J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan at the Hull Truck Theatre until 4th of January. And How to Fly Like a Reindeer, a soaring tale for 2 to 5-year-olds, also runs until the 4th of January. And finally, Dick Whittington, the Barton Playgoers' wonderful interpretation of this classic tale, written by Billboard presenter Liz Drury, is at the Joseph Wright Hall on the 9th, 10th and 11th of January. Tickets are available online from sbplayers.co.uk.
Poet Aly Stoneman has been leading the Poetic Landscapes project at Spurn Lighthouse, and an exhibition of both historical and contemporary poetry has been curated into a winter exhibition. Tony Barker went to meet her.
And really the idea was get out there, get out there into nature, do some writing, see what comes out of it, And from that, the group, edited some really great poems, which are part of the exhibition, the show that's happening at the moment.
At Spurn, I stack your pebbles and you begin a new journey. One stripped from a Swedish fjord and rolled within the icy grip of glaciers.
That's been one of the legacy projects, isn't it? Because it will continue for a good while. People can come down and see it, can't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So exhibition, display, whatever you'd like to call it. But we've got these poems printed up on boards, which are displayed in the wonderful circular art gallery, if you like, that it is in Spurn Lighthouse. What a wonderful location for an exhibition, and it's a great place to visit. It's open on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays through the winter, 11 till 3. It is a bit of a walk down to Spurn Lighthouse.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, we've been talking about this earlier. So it is a bit of a, so set off early, and obviously choose your time, because as you may or may not know, when the tide comes, when it's high tide, sometimes you can get cut off down at Spurn. But we do have boards here, and you can look on the website to find out when you can go down.
The Poetic Spurn exhibition runs until March next year. More information from alystoneman.co.uk. And you can enjoy more verse and rhyme with poets at the Priory in Louth, one of the 12 groups who form the Lincolnshire Writers. Full details available at lincolnshirewriters.com. Now, with more literary news and Christmas present ideas, Hugh Riches is back from sunny Spain to share his choice of the latest book releases.
We all need books at this time of year, partly to give each other, mostly so we have something to read instead of talking to our families. First, The Man in the Red Coat by Julian Barnes is the life story of Samuel Pozzi, surgeon and sinner in the Belle Epoque of the late 19th century in Paris. By day, a pioneering gynecologist, by night, reveller and socialite in the glittering and seedy world of boulevard salons and left-bank brothels. Barnes manages to weave every writer, artist and politician of a remarkable age into this clever, funny, true story. Comedian, writer and actor David Mitchell manages to write a regular newspaper column in between appearing on every television panel show. In this new collection, Honesty is the second best policy. He covers politics, scampi, terrorism and rude street names, among much else. Mitchell writes for laughs and gets them, but he is worried that if everybody believes everything they read, nobody knows anything. Now, the real Christmas stuff. The Christmasaurus was a tale of a child meeting a Christmassy dinosaur. The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch is Tom Fletcher's sequel, in which our heroes must protect the festivities with magical miracles and plenty of crumpets. You must have crumpets. It's told in wonderful rhyming verse and illustrated with the beautiful art of Shane Devries. Finally, some old favourites, classic crime stories to follow the sprouts. Murder at Christmas gathers 10 stories of Yuletide homicide by old masters, including Dorothy L. Sayers, Margaret Allingham and Ellis Peters. Perfect if you like your mince pies with massacre.
Hugh will be joining us again later in the programme to announce the winners of the International Literary Prize awarded by the University Centre Grimsby. Over recent months, I've been working with final year students taking the creative writing degree on areas of professional development, including script writing for television. The top students will be invited onto the programme as guest presenters in the new year. The festive season has seen organisations around the region raising money for their favourite charities. When we heard that the staff of Grimsby-based service providers ENGIE were going to record a Christmas song by a famous rock band, we decided to find out more.
Christmas, everybody's having fun. Look to the
Every year we have a charity cause that we nominate, and that's done by all the staff in the business. This year we chose the Amethyst Unit at Grimsby Hospital, because we had a colleague who sadly passed away last year and who attended the Amethyst Unit, and we thought it'd be a really good cause.
I just think it's such a joyful Christmas song, and I think it really encapsulates the Christmas spirit, and it's just a bit of fun. We can get everyone involved, and I think that it's a great message to put out to people to just enjoy this time of year.
And how much are you hoping to raise?
From this video, it depends how much people like the singing. But I mean, we've raised so far this year just over £2,000. So obviously anything more than that would be fantastic.
It's for a great cause. It's supporting people who are going through a troublesome time, especially at this time of year. Anybody who's struggling with cancer, would really like people to get on board and support those who are in hospital over Christmas.
So how can people donate?
They can go to the Virgin Money Giving page via the link below.
So here it is, Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. It's Christmas! Now it's only just begun.
You can see ENGIE's full video on the Billboard channel. Now, here with more news of music events around the region, a very festive Kirsty Hannah.
With chiming guitars, bubbling bass and delicious vocals, the Loudhailer Electric Company will take you on a trip through the mystical realm of dreams, dragons and star-crossed time travellers. You can join them for their Yuletide gathering at O'Reilly's in Hull on Sunday the 15th of December. And there will be festive frolics and Yuletide merriment when the late-night Marauders bring their unique blend of soul, R&B and boogie to their Christmas shindig at the new Adelphi Club on Sunday the 22nd of December.
He told me he'd make me a millionaire. He told me he could take me anywhere.
There will be plenty of opportunities for joining in the festive fun at Moon on the Water in Cleethorpes over the holiday season. Grimsby-based 90s Britpop band The Word UK will have you dancing the night away at their Christmas gig on Saturday the 21st of December. And on Saturday the 28th of December, some of the area's best punk and ska bands will be hosting the Christmas punk party. Expect third wave ska, melodic American style punk, alternative rock and socially aware folk punk. And finally, Grimsby rock band The Brew have wowed audiences across the UK and Europe, playing flawless rock that has a touch of the psychedelic. You can join them for their famous Christmas gig at the Yardbirds Rock Club in Grimsby on Friday, the 20th of December.
A selection of new work from Hornsey-based singer-songwriter Rich Stephenson with his whole band listening club includes his latest single, Hurts. Tony Barker went to meet him.
In March, I'm sorting out a tour with So Far Sounds, and they do secret gigs in cities across the world, and I've done a number of them over the past few years, and I've specifically got in touch with Bucharest and said, hello, I believe I've got some fans in your city, so maybe I could come. I'm waiting for their response, so we'll see.
So tell us about Hurts and what it's about and why it's so special to you.
It's a bit of an intimate ballad, and as I say, the remit is try and get the songs 3 minutes or less. Say what you've got to say and get out of there. And the hook line for it is hold you till it hurts, and sometimes that's not the way it works. It's kind of a love song, but it's also about friendship as well and keeping those bonds strong no matter what.
But I don't look back, I got the light.
As you know, I've got a background in media and a little bit of PR, so I work with, we've got a song coming out, we do 4 weeks of gigs and promotion, then we have a break for a bit, and it's just so people know they're there, but we're not playing every week, week in, week out. I think that's the important thing. You've just got to, and that, as a result, we enjoy it and we get a lot out of it, and people get a lot from us as well, because we're there, very focused for a month at a time. We've recorded 3 songs, so this is the second of 3 that we've recorded with a producer that we know. So we recorded 3 songs with him earlier this year, and I say we're just kind of bringing one out at a time across the year. The next one we're going to bring out is probably around February, March time, because that's going to coincide with we're doing the Made in Hull cruise from Hull to Amsterdam and back. We've done it, it's the 3rd year we're going to be doing it.
After the break, Little Women in Beverley, Shia LaBeouf in Film Review, and author Kirsty talks to Tony Barker about her latest novel, Nemesis.
There are something like 4,000 businesses in North East Links in a relatively compact county area. We want to talk to more of these businesses as time goes on, because we're able to bring in funding which in turn increases their trading ability and expansion.
It's all the good stuff, all positive and helping businesses grow, create jobs.
Established in 2016 by North East Lincolnshire Council, the Investment Hub is an important part of the Council's strategy to support the growth of local business.
We sit with the business, we find out what they're looking at doing, and from our database and our knowledge of finance, we put them together with appropriate funders.
The team of experienced banking professionals, including Anthony Wynne, Sarah Bratton and Ian Girdley, provide a free service to identify sources of funding that can help companies grow and prosper. If you think you can benefit from this valuable service for business in North East Lincolnshire, contact Becky Darnell on 07921 562 500 or email info@investmenthubnel.org.uk.
Coming up on tonight's show, results of the International Literary Prize and the Vienna Festival Ballet in box office. But first, here's a suitably seasonal Liz Drury with our choice of the latest film releases chosen by film critic Paul Lewis.
On Film Review tonight, intrigue and drama in motherless Brooklyn, crisis on a nuclear submarine in Wolf's Call, and two dreamers discover the wisdom of nature in The Biggest Little Farm. But first, Alma Harrell's Honey Boy, written by Shia LaBeouf, who co-starred in The Peanut Butter Cowboy, reviewed in our October programme. Based on his own experiences, LaBeouf charts the life of a young actor growing up in a difficult relationship with his father and struggling with mental health. In a cathartic performance, LaBeouf plays his own father, perhaps to discover why he treated him the way he did.
You have good instincts.
I have good instincts?
Yeah,
I got rodeo clown instincts, so I could never make it in Hollywood.
You could if you started when I did.
How do you think it feels to have my son paying me? How do you think that feels?
You wouldn't be here if I didn't pay you.
Motherless Brooklyn, based loosely on Jonathan Letham's 1999 novel, is a modern noir in the vein of Chinatown and Mulholland Falls. Edward Norton directs and stars as Lionel Esrog, a detective living with Tourette's syndrome, investigating the murder of his boss and mentor, Frank Minner, played by Bruce Willis. A stylish detective story that leans heavily on the style of Dag Hammarskjöld and Raymond Chandler, but is not afraid to deal bluntly with complex issues of institutionalised racism, civic corruption and gentrification woven into American life.
You're webbed up in this somehow, and these people aren't going to stop.
If you got a head just like mine, always turning things around. Some people call it a gift, but it's a brain affliction just the same.
You remember what I said?
She doesn't know! She doesn't know!
What don't I know?
In Antonin Baudry's Wolf's Call, the fate of the planet hangs in the balance as the crew of a French nuclear submarine find themselves caught in a crisis spiralling rapidly out of control. The plot twists and turns around Chanterade, a young man who possesses the rare talent of being able to identify every sound he hears.
Eat it up.
The Biggest Little Farm follows two dreamers on a journey that takes them out of their tiny LA apartment and into the countryside to build one of the most diverse farms of its kind in complete coexistence with nature. Their tumultuous decade-long journey leads to a greater understanding of the intricacies and wisdom of nature and of life itself. A pig named Emma and her best friend Greasy the rooster steal the show.
Aww. Have you washed your hands, John?
The hardships we face make the dream itself feel so much more alive.
John, please be careful.
In Little Women, our family choice this month, writer-director Greta Gerwig draws on both the classic novel and the wider writings of Louisa May Alcott as the author's alter ego, Jo March, reflects back and forth on her fictional life. Saoirse Ronan and Emma Watson star in this timeless and timely tale of four young women, each determined to live life on her own terms.
I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all a woman is fit for. I'm so sick of it.
There are some natures too lofty to bend.
On DVD and Blu-ray, A Fistful of Dynamite from Eureka Entertainment, Spelters from BFI Video, The Exorcist 3 from Arrow Video, and Eliza Kazan's On the Waterfront from Criterion Collection are also worth a look. I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Original artwork can make a very special Christmas present for someone you love, and commercial galleries around the region have a good selection to suit all budgets. Bluestone Art in Lincoln, Studio 11 in Hull, and Louth Gallery, which is featuring an exhibition by popular artist Deborah Geddes and gallery owner Anne MacDonald, are all worth a visit. Beverley-based author Christine Wass has recently published the second novel in her trilogy Power and Glory, set in ancient Rome. Nemesis is a gripping story of romance, faith and brutality. Tony Barker went to meet her.
You're a prolific writer. You've got your latest book out on the story of Flavius Silvanus in ancient times. So tell us first of all about the character, what he's like.
Well, he begins as rather a hedonistic, naughty boy. And his father, who is a very important Roman senator who has issues of his own, threatens him that if he does not start to behave himself, he will disinherit him. So Flavius promises, yes, I'll be good, but he doesn't.
Do you like Silvanus, the character?
Oh, I love him. It's been a 30-odd year love affair, and when they send me different book covers for me to choose, and on this book it was the second one they sent me, and when I saw his picture I couldn't believe it. It's almost the way I always imagined him to look, almost. I can't get any closer than that.
So Nemesis is out at the moment, isn't it? That's the latest.
It came out in early August.
And the next one is what's that going to be called?
Next spring. I haven't quite made my mind up yet. Working title is Divinity at the moment because that covers two different things. But it may change. I'll see how it progresses, but that's what I'm working with.
Christine's book is available from Amazon and all good booksellers. Now, with more literary news, Hugh Riches announces the winners of the 2019 Hammond House International Literary Prize awarded by the University Centre Grimsby. A record number of entries from 27 countries were inspired by the theme Leaving and kept the judging panel busy with their short stories, poetry and screenplays.
As part of the judging panel for the short story category, I know how difficult it was to choose the shortlist, let alone the winners, but we have the results. In the script writing category, third place went to local writer from Grimsby, Chris Alcock with Be Quiet and Drive. Second place to Alan Wood from Aldershot with Fear of Monsters. And the winner, with a clever and unusual script, is Matt Wixie from Hainault in Essex with On the Bench. In the poetry category, third place was taken by the deceptively simple and fiendishly funny Should I Go or Should I Stay by David McVeigh from Dumbartonshire in Scotland. In second place, a sad poem for our times, So We Will Leave Before They Come With Guns by Sam Shanto from Twickenham. And the winner, with vivid imagery and imagination, is Leaving Home by William Hatchett from London. And finally, the short story category, awarded by the University Centre Grimsby. In third place, Locked In by Peter Hankins from Surrey, an ironic tale of a man suffering a terrifying syndrome. In second place, an elegant and sumptuous telling of a decades-long affair brought to life by robust writing and a cast of intriguing characters, The Levensons by Tara Roeder from New York City. And for the first time in the history of the competition, we have a winner in two categories. A clever and darkly funny dive into the mind of a man isolated at the North Pole, which captured the hearts of the judging team. You'll never look at Cocoa Pops or penguins in the same way again after reading Tenacity Penguin by Matt Wixie, again from Hainault in Essex, who takes the top prize of £500.
Details of all the winners and shortlisted entries whose work will be published in Leaving, the short story and poetry anthologies, are now available to view on the Hammond House website. The anthologies will be launched in February 2020 and are available to pre-order now from Hammond House. Prizes will be awarded in the annual Literary Festival at the University Centre Grimsby on the 5th of February 2020. The televised festival will include original music, poetry and stories, surgeries where new writers can get advice from best-selling authors, and opportunities for authors to promote their published work. The festival is a great opportunity to network with writers, publishers, editors and other industry professionals. Full details from hammondhousepublishing.com. Great literature is also coming to Beverley this Christmas as the East Riding Theatre Company stage a special adaptation of Louise May Alcott's Little Women. Tony Barker talked to actor Laura Patterson.
Let's remember, come on, you'll be dead in a minute. Surrender, or I shall slice you ear to ear and cut out your heart and eat it for my dinner. Amy! Come on, let's get to the exciting part. I want to do some throat slitting.
You're playing Jo in Little Women. We've just seen some very passionate stuff, very dramatic stuff. They're very energetic. Is that what Little Women is about? Is it full of energy?
Absolutely. You go on a real journey and you see these girls grow from, being quite young until at the end of the play they've matured to some extent. And you go on that journey with them. I guess that's, that part of your life, growing into adolescence. It's a time of your life that is full of energy. So we definitely see that, and all the girls are very unique to themselves. They've got very different personalities and how that mix together, and we see them grow.
Tell me about Jo in particular and what made you want that particular role.
I read the book when I was about 18, and I was a Jo from reading the book. I always, you pick your favourite girl, you pick the girl that you're most connected to, I suppose, and I was always a Jo March. She's sort of the dreamer, the passionate one who wants to be independent and live out her dreams, and that was always me from being a kid.
More about Little Women in box office as actress and broadcaster Gemma Lidgard suggests some festive alternatives to Panto from around the region.
If Panto isn't your thing, there's a wide choice of festive entertainment in theatres around the region over the Christmas period. At the East Riding Theatre in Beverley, Little Women, a beautiful adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's classic tale of four girls growing up in rural New England during the American Civil War, which runs until the 5th of January. And for the younger audiences, She Productions musical, The Fairy Who Fell Off the Christmas Tree, runs until the 31st of December. Following the million-selling success of This Is Gonna Hurt, Adam Kay delves back into his diaries for a hilarious peek behind the blue curtain with 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This love letter to all those who spend their festive season on the front line of healthcare is at the New Hull Theatre on the 19th of December. And the self-styled greatest rock and roll band in the world, Shawaddy Waddy, entertain us with their greatest hits on the 20th of December. At the Riverhead Theatre in Louth, a Vienna Festival Ballet's production of The Nutcracker, set to Tchaikovsky's sumptuous score, promises to delight audiences of all ages with its festive setting and light-hearted story on the 16th of December. And on the 21st of December, the members of cast are at the Grimsby Central Hall with a magical Christmas of festive music and fun. And at the Grimsby Auditorium, the Johnny Cash Roadshow is back with the Men in Black on Sunday, the 12th of January. At the Baths Hall in Scunthorpe, Santa's Christmas Countdown on Monday the 23rd of December is a 45-minute interactive family show particularly suitable for 2 to 7-year-olds who get to meet Father Christmas and receive a special wrapped present. And on the 19th of December, Buddy Holly and the Cricketers herald in the Yuletide festivals with Holly at Christmas. Traditional hits, contemporary classics and some Christmas crackers are all wrapped up in this fast and furious feast of entertainment. Have a very Merry Christmas and we'll see you next year.
Well, that's almost all for this special seasonal edition of Billboard. You can keep up to date with the latest entertainment news on our Facebook page, and to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, click the subscribe button below. If you would like us to feature your own event on Billboard TV, you can email details to news@billboardtv.uk. From everyone on the Billboard team, we hope you have a wonderful Christmas and look forward to seeing you again in the new year for more entertaining news, entertaining guests and great music.
With audiences south of the I knew that would happen.
What? I know. How does that sentence go?
To Tchaikovsky's sumptuous score.
Poet Aly Stoneman has been...
The final Aladdin is a live play.
Have you dancing the night away at their Christmas gig on Saturday, the 21st of December?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the... I can't get that, can I? I feel as if I'm being watched by Simon Cowell.
If you play that, I'll mime it. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, no, that's cheating. Little donkey, little donkey. Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.